What up, it's your Timus here. Now, since this month I'm doing my reviews for past September films, here's my review for the 2011 movie Drive. Now, Drive was literally in my top 10 favorite movies of that year. Drive is so awesome. I mean, this of course stars Ryan Gosling, and to be honest, this is maybe his best performance in my opinion. I know he's done so many other great work, like La La Land, he was great in The Notebook, obviously. Oh boy, what else he's been in? First Man, he was great in. I mean, Ryan Gosling has been great in so many stuff, but it was Drive that made me become a more fan of this guy. And this was also the same year he also did another movie that was one of my favorite films that year, which was Crazy Stupid Love. So in 2011, he was not only in one film, he was also in two films I adored that year. So it's safe to say that I was a pretty big Ryan Gosling guy back in 2011. And so Drive was also directed by Nicholas Wada Refn, who I always mispronounce that guy's name. But he's directed other movies like Only God Forgives, I think that was called. He also did that Neon Demon a couple years ago too. He hasn't done hardly anything anymore lately. But now this movie is such a really fun one. It stars Ryan Gosling who plays like this driver who actually has no name. He's just referred to as the driver, and he plays like this. And the driver is like this skilled Hollywood stuntman who moonlights as a getaway driver for criminals, and he has been warming up to this pretty neighbor named Irene and her young son, Benicio. Of course, the neighbor is portrayed by Carey Mulligan. Irene's husband ends up getting out of jail, and he's, of course, portrayed by Oscar Isaac. And so he enlists the driver's help in this $1 million heist, and the job goes wrong, and the driver must risk his life to protect Irene and the kid from these vengeful mastermind behind the robbery. And the main villain in this, by the way, is portrayed by very funny man Albert Brooks, which this was a really intriguing role for him because every time I always think of Albert Brooks, I mean, I believe he was a taxi driver, I believe, but other than that, I mean, I've always known this guy as a comedian, whether he's voicing the Fish Marlin in Finding Nemo. He's done loads of other comedies over the years, so it was so cool to see Albert Brooks in a role like this. I remember watching this thing in theaters. I had a blast of it. I didn't really knew much about the movie going in. I did saw the trailer prior to that, but I did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as it did. Albert Brooks plays the villain perfectly. I mean, he pretty much plays like this mob guy who wants to take down the driver. You also had Christina Hendricks was also in this. Bryan Cranston. You had some really solid players. Ron Perlman was great in this. Oscar Isaac was terrific. Russ Tamblyn was also great in this film. I mean, this movie was also really violent. I mean, there's this scene where Driver literally stomps a dude's head all down as if it was a pancake. Yeah, this is this. I mean, Driver is a little bit like John Wick in a way before John Wick became a thing. And I mean, I cannot believe this movie is literally 10 years old this week. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. It felt like just yesterday I saw this movie in theaters. But it's such a really awesome one. So violent, so entertaining. How on living heck did they not do a sequel to this is beyond me. I mean, it did pretty well when it got released. I'm gonna put up its box office. Yeah, only made about 81.4 million off 15 mil budget. Didn't do so bad. So it's a little disappointing. We never really got to see a sequel to this. But man, if you guys have never really seen Drive, you can probably not sure where you can find it nowadays. You can find it on Peacock. You can find it on Prime Video, Vudu, Apple TV. Go watch Drive. It's to me, it's Gosling's best work in my opinion. Anyway, let me lead you guys. Have you ever seen the Ryan Gosling movie Drive? And so, what's up? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notification. This is Him sign out.